when I hired Elsa, a maid from a distant corner of the world. I thought I was helping her as much as she was helping me. She came highly recommended, a quiet girl from a small island off the Asian coast. Her eyes were pools of midnight, her English halting but eager. "I need the work," she had said, her voice soft as wind through dry grass. At first, everything was fine. She was meticulous, folding my towels with a precision that made me feel like royalty. The house gleamed, and I finally had time to breathe, but it wasn't long before I noticed odd things, little things. The first was the singing. Late at night, when the house should have been silent, I'd hear her voice drifting through the air. It wasn't unpleasant, but it was unsettling, low, mournful, and in a language I didn't understand. I asked her about it the next morning. She merely smiled and said, "It helps me feel less lonely." The second thing was the door to the guest room. I never used it. It stayed closed, a space reserved for visitors who rarely came, but every morning I'd find it ajar, the air inside thick and cold. I confronted her one day, and she avoided my gaze. "The house doesn't like to be ignored," she whispered. "What does that even mean?" One night I woke up to the sound of footsteps, heavy, deliberate, and far too slow to be Elsa's. My heart pounded as I crept out of bed. The hallway was empty, but the guest room door was wide open. I hesitated at the threshold, peering into the darkness. Elsa was there, standing in the middle of the room, her back to me. She was muttering something under her breath, her hands clasped as if in prayer. "Elsa," my voice cracked. She didn't turn around. Instead, the air around her seemed to ripple, like heat waves off asphalt. A low growl rumbled from the shadows in the corner of the room, shadows that shouldn't have been there. "Elsa, what are you doing?" I demanded, louder this time. She turned then, her eyes reflecting the dim hallway light, like a predator's. "It followed me," she said, her voice hollow. "It always does." Before I could respond, the room filled with a deafening roar. The shadows surged forward, engulfing Elsa, and for a moment, I saw something I'll never forget. A face, twisted and inhuman, grinning at me with jagged teeth. I slammed the door and ran. I don't remember grabbing my keys or driving away, but I know I never went back. The house was found empty, Elsa gone without a trace. But sometimes, late at night, when the world is quiet, I hear her voice in my dreams, singing, always singing.